Hey guys, welcome back. This is PhoneKeys.com. What I have here is called the Galaxy Folder 2. And as the name implies, it's a flip phone. And why do you need a flip phone in 2017? I don't know, maybe your parents do, or maybe your kids do. There still seems to be a few demand for that, actually more than few, now that we know that Samsung is launching the second generation of their flip phone. This is not exactly even second generation. There were about like dozens of flip phones since the Android era, so I guess there still are people who want this. There's a quick start guide. This is really slim, as the name implies, quick, and here's the phone. The phone comes in two variants. There's an LTE model and 3G model, but given that LTE model has everything of the 3G model and plus LTE on top of that, I guess you should just get the LTE model, unless you have a very specific reason. There is a earphone that unfortunately is not in 3.5mm headphone jack. That gets connected via the micro USB port. I don't know why they dropped it, because the last generation had the 3.5mm headphone jack on the right hand side, but now this doesn't, so you have to share that one port. And the micro USB cable is right there. No USB Type-C, no fancy latest 2017 connections. It's the good old micro USB. That charges this 1950 milliamps of battery, replaceable. One is included in the packaging. If you want more, you can surely purchase another. And charging all that is the little charging brick included in the package, 5 volts, 1.55A. Definitely not fast charging, but given the small nature of the capacity of the battery, I reckon it's not going to take that long to charge up that battery if you ever go zero. So here's the phone itself, and covered in protected plastic. Let's peel that off. Comes in two color. One is this. This is called black. It's just black. And there's another called the burgundy, and that is in burgundy. And here, it seems like the outer screen, but it isn't an external screen. It's just a design element that is just standing out there, letting you think that it's an external screen. There's a little LED there, but that's it. Samsung logo sits on top of it. There are some gold elements right there, golden ring on the side, but nothing fancy. Most of them is just built purely out of plastic. Rear has an 8-megapixel camera. That's an upgrade from the last generation. This f1.9, that's pretty bright for a phone like this. And the LED flash has been added, the speaker, Samsung logo, and I don't really see anything else. There's a volume rocker, micro USB port on the bottom, microphone, and opening up the flip gives us the 3.5 inches of a WVGA display. That's not exactly terribly high in resolution, but it's a flip phone, it's this small, so that's gonna be crisp enough, if not, I don't know, it's not gonna be like full HD, but still. Receiver sits on top, front-facing camera, that's a 5 megapixels, also an upgrade from the predecessor. Samsung logo, multitasking, home and back key, your phone book, messaging, camera, and the shortcut key, they call it the social apps, but you can assign any non-social app to it. It's customizable. Talk key, talk clear, and the 9 keys are there, 12 keys are there. You can use these to type, or you can touch the screen if your app does not support the keyboard or the keypad. So let's try putting in the battery, and while we do that, we do have the chance to peek inside. There's a nano SIM card tray and the micro SD card slot if you want to expand that 16 gigabytes of built-in storage. Talking about storage, it does have 2 gigabytes of RAM. Upgrade again, Snapdragon 425 quad-core processor and Android Marshmallow. Now let's turn on the phone, and we see the splash screen saying Galaxy Folder 2. And we're here at the initial settings screen. Scrolling down to English, let's get started. Okay, after the processes, we're here at the home screen. You can navigate them through the D-pad under the screen, or you can choose to get into easy mode. That is going to be specifically helpful for the elders, and since it's going to give you the bigger icons and simpler interface with weather on top, big clock, and the little gallery, little album that you can stick a photo in, probably going to be one of your grandchildren. And today use data, this month use data, so you can manage your data since they are most likely to have a capped data limited plans, and there's a Wi-Fi setting. I always had a harder time explaining the concept of Wi-Fi and making my mom connect to the Wi-Fi network whenever she's home instead of using her data, but there's a big chunk of icon setting Wi-Fi connection. Easy settings, that gives you brightness and sound setting. That's pretty simple. torch to turn on the flashlight, and press that back to turn it off. So that's the basics, and since this guy has the keypad, let me show you that part. So that's the messagings. Get into the messages, and let's get into English and start typing. Hi, this is a new flip phone from Samsung. Good. Okay, that was quick. All right, so that's how you type with the keypad, and you can just scroll around with your keypad, and when you do, you see that little trails of the selector right there. That probably is to give you a better visual track of what you're doing and where your cursor is going for anyone with less than optimum eyesight. I think that's what it is. Anyway, so that was a quick look, and this still isn't a very small phone. The recent Android flip phones were never small, so this is one of the smaller variants. It's the Wine Smart from LG, and you can see that this is still big. And especially when some of the apps do not support your keypad fully, you'll have to be touching your screen all the time, and it's gonna look like this. So it's gonna be a bit funny just scrolling around with your tiny little screen with keypad doing nothing under there, but still that's what you have for having a flip phone in 2017. Anyway, it's been a while for Samsung for Android flip phones, and I would have definitely appreciated something with the external screen like this one, but still having a design element is better.